Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
Yo.
1 2 1 2. Yo,
Cool,
I don't think.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, we're not used to this. How it sounds live. Yeah.
All right,
Perfect.
all right.
Respect.
All right, respect.
The high.
Yeah,
So like
man.
I was saying, chop back in quickly.
Yeah.
Done the smoking thing, done the drinking thing, done the gambling thing.
But let me tell you, yeah, the reason why I quit the smoking and the drinking. When I first done my 5K run, it was the best part of 45 minutes it took me to do it, right? 40, that's a long time, being on a treadmill.
Yeah.
And when I come off, I was sweating. I basically need to put myself in a recovery position because I was I felt literally, I was like, yo. And I realize now that, do you know what? If I can maybe sort things out from an external perspective and help myself from an external perspective, maybe it might help my performance when I next go back to the gym. So then I remember now eating either a bit more healthier, not smoking as much, not drinking as much that previous weekend before I went to the gym again. And lo and behold, after going to the gym, like I realized my recovery process was becoming much shorter, my recovery period, and all this, maybe it might have taken me like 30 seconds to get my breath back, or 60 seconds to get and on the second occasion now it was only taking me 30 or 15 seconds to get my breath back. I was like, hold on a minute, this is working. This is working.
Facts.
It was working. And then I realized that not only that, but my times were getting shorter. So you have to understand, my best ever time for 5K was, I think, 26.5 minutes. Wow. But when I first started, it was 45.
Right. So
do you understand what I'm saying?
20 minutes added.
I pretty much halved it. Yeah. And my argument was that, you know what? By me cutting out the smoking and the drinking, my body is healthier and it's more ready to take on board.
What do you mean cut it out? Was it gradual?
Gradually.
How gradual? What? Smoke once a week? What? Drank on occasions? What?
Yeah, like... It was hard. I think there was one occasion when I went out and I didn't drink and I still managed to have a good time. And for me, that was proof. That was proof.
Bedford?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
I can't do it, G.
Believe it or not.
It's fucking...
Believe it or not. Do you know why? Because as a human being, I think I'm naturally high on life anyway. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And... everyone's got a different life, innit? Yeah, I'm not going to try and pretend I've got the best life out. I'm not going to say that, but the things that are nice and the things I appreciate, there's certain things that keep me in a happy place.
Well, you're definitely doing what you love for a living. First of all,
yes,
that's definitely a step towards you feeling half life.
Yes, definitely.
Many people, maybe even your age, my age, are still resorting to not doing what they're even doing, or don't even know what they want to do. Yeah. So you waking up and having these orders through. You're like I'm saying, like you're saying about you getting T-shirts made and stuff like. Get that done quickly. This is your shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank God blessed you to have that.
Yeah.
Let's go time now.
Yeah.
I want to be in everyone's fucking kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dezzy's dishes. I want to be at everyone's event.
Yeah.
I want to have people running for me.
Yes.
I can't stress how much that. And you know what? I said this to got barber friends as well. I'm not saying a shop is the goal, because a shop sometimes means more overhead.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
I'm not saying a shop's the goal.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that exposure. Yeah. People need to know and understand that when they're hungry, the same way how they want to go to charcoal grill, how they want to go to anything else. I'm going to push it and say even a McDonald's. You've got to be there, not their first option, second, but third, but for whatever you have to be in the mix of that. And the order for you to do that is exposure.
Definitely.
So you getting T-shirts made, I think is a great idea. But I think that's one of many.
Of course it is. And I realised that. I totally realised it. And I said to myself, do you know what, I'll be honest with you, I got a message through as an email. I received an email, opened it up, and it's someone invited me to a street food festival. They own a events company and they have street food festivals throughout the area, or the Bedfordshire area. And for me to just get an invite, number one, I didn't know who this person was, so automatically that said to me, you must have heard of me from somewhere else before.
Word of mouth. All your promotion.
Definitely. And for me to be in an environment where literally you have people who are mostly be in a environment where you're literally there to taste food, and I was supposed to be just one of those people. For me, that's like a footballer getting a call up to the national team. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Because you're surrounded by elevation. And the people who'd be attending would mostly be people who actually appreciate one thing and one thing alone: food. And for me, that idea of, do you know, okay, you got your Asian guy, you got the Italian guy, you got your Spanish guy.
So you're representing.
I'm representing.
You feel like that with all your dishes you make?
It's it's a representation of culture. It's a representation of ability.
As in how you've been brought up, or culture as in West Indian, as in I'm cooking Jamaican food, this is how Jamaican food tastes, or you saying I'm cooking West Indian food, this is my twist to it.
My mum was born in Trinidad, so first and foremost, my type of cuisine and style of cooking is more Trinidadian based as opposed to like Jamaican.
Do you promote that?
I try to subtly, because look, the Caribbean as a whole is a cuisine anyway. It's a cuisine in itself. But one thing I have realised is that each island, the same way how a Scotsman wouldn't want to be called Irish. You see what I'm saying? Each island has its own kind of cuisine and culture and but you're just identity. Yeah.
So you cook a mean roti?
Listen, my roti is my. Listen, listen, boy. I cook a roti ting and ting. Catch a ting.
Roti and ting.
Still pan and ting. You know what I mean? So by the time you eat a good roti, boy, you're laughing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I've had people kind of ordering rotis in bulk. My mum used to sell rotis to her friends when she was young. That's another thing as well for me. In the 1600s, 1700s, there was a sort of tradition of mum and dad or the family used to pass down their trade generation to generation to generation. That's how life was. Even to the.
Do you not think it's still like that?
Not as much for some people, but not in.
Some dads are builders and sons are builders.
Yeah, yes, but not. I don't think it's in the majority. I think
it might be a deeper root problem though.
I think it's a society problem. Society's changed. Society has changed. It's changed. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? And sometimes some of those kids who wouldn't dream of stepping out of line in the 1700s or the 1900s. They're brave enough to maybe stand up to their dad now in this day and age, and they're brave enough to stand up to their mum.
Is that a wrong thing? I mean, standing up for yourself.
Stand up for yourself is definitely something you have to do. You have to have your identity. But what I think has happened is that I think they've been almost incentivized by the fact that it seems like the law is on their side with regards to if a parent tries to sort of put their child in the right place, they can now call up either social services, this, that, and the other.
They can though.
And I'm not saying that is a bad thing if you're being treated in a bad fashion.
There's a fine line.
There's definitely a fine line.
I'm not agreeing. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But all eyes noses.
I
got beat.
That
shit hurt. A few times. If I wish I could. You know, one time I might even rang them one time. But I didn't speak to them.
But listen, I've spoken to parents. They say to me, listen, the naughty step doesn't work, right? The naughty step, putting people in timeout doesn't work.
But what is the naughty step, first of all? Is it? Are you telling your kid that you don't want them to be involved in what you're doing, or are you making them? I don't understand. The naughty step's a funny one to get.
For me, it's a way of. I know. But listen. I held licks as well. Let's be real here. Yeah. And for me, I know for a fact, and I'm sure you can vouch for it as well. The person you are today, you know how to treat people with respect, and you know what it means to be respected as a human being as well. And you can almost safely say that you was taught this from a young age. Therefore, you're not going to step out of line now you're in your late 20s or your early 30s, because you know what the whole element of being respectful is all about and treating people in the right way. I believe there's lots of people, they didn't necessarily have that kind of discipline. They didn't have that sort of, I want to say fear factor, but my argument is this.
Was it a fear factor thing? I never thought it was fearful. It was just more, I don't want to get hurt.
Of course. So there's so now you have a deterrent.
What, because of lack of...
The fact for me is that if you have this freedom to do what you want and as you please when you want to do it, then that sort of freedom can be abused by people, and there is no sort of discipline. It goes out the window. It trickles into later life, and next thing you know, you have what is, in my view, a kind of, if you have a batch of individuals doing that from a young age, and they all grow up together, and they're all flipping, acting in this kind of way, you now have a gathering of disorderly people who can possibly be, a menace in society. Literally, you got chaos going on. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
But you get smart people that are involved in the chaos.
Of course,
people from all walks of life. That's what I'm saying now. Society has changed. Yes. Whether you got licks or not, or whether you didn't, or whatever the hell ever you're brought up, people just group together.
Yeah.
You might be around someone that has brought. You might be around someone that is privileged. But he still wants to come and chill with you and smoke weed with you.
Yes.
But he's gone home to his nice house, but he wants to. It's your entertainment. He enjoys that. He thrives with that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, more than people I think more my era 90s people grouped together that were like that. Nowadays people don't give a two shit.
Yeah.
They listen to the same music. They dress the same with friends. Which is a cool thing, I guess.
Yeah.
It blurs the lines between authority, like you're saying, isn't it?
Yeah. I think society has changed the way how we act and how we interact with one another as well.
We've got social media. Shit.
Yeah, social media has definitely played a part. It's
DM'd you today.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't knock your front door.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I still remember those days when the sentence was, I'll knock for you later. Do you know what I mean?
What, on MSN?
Literally, well,
before that now.
Yeah, before
man
that.
just knocked your door.
You knocked your door, and he's like,
you went in. But your mum said, come in and wait.
Yeah.
Sit on the couch. Or did you have one of the mums that said you can't get in? Or did you have one of the parents that you can't get in?
It depends. So certain parents are more strict than others. You know what I'm trying to say? Certain parents you couldn't go knock on their door just like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You need to be, you need to be booked in. You know, wait. You know what I mean? You wait for him on the outside. You wait for him on the wall outside, even if it's raining. You know what I'm saying? And exactly. But then obviously you always had those, and you know the thing with growing up, you realise that there was always certain friends, who can get away with a million times more than what you can get away with in your own house. You know what I'm saying? That. And you say,
I did.
What?
I just slept at the house. Well, I can't go out late. No worry. I'm sleeping at my friend's house. His mama don't care. I'm good.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, though?
Of course, definitely. So look, I've always said variety is the spice of life, and I don't think we should all just be robotic. I don't think we should all. I think sometimes you need to see what it means to be well behaved. You need to see what it's about to be not well behaved. You need to see all these different examples of all these different varieties, so you can make sense of it yourself and basically be like, right, is this the right thing to do? Is it the wrong thing to do? How should I actually go about my own way of doing things? What suits me? What doesn't suit me? Do you see what I'm saying? Variety is the spice life. I always tell this story. Like, I used to be down the park with my friends down Jubilee, and my mum told me to come back at a certain time.
Would you brought up London Roadsides?
London Roadsides, yeah. London Roadsides.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Why do you always assume you're partner guy?
Not even. If anything,
always assume that.
Raised down London Road, mum didn't want me to go to John Bunyan because the teachers at middle school said, listen, if he's around his friends, he's not going to concentrate. Okay. So she got me shipped off to Kempston. I went upper school in Hastings.
How did that go for you?
Do you know, I enjoyed it. Do you know why?
New guy.
Not only just that, but the school had lifts in it, because these times when you're young and you see a school has lifts as well, you're thinking, elevated lifts. You see what I'm saying? These obviously because there were disabled children at that school as well, so that's what the lifts were for. But I like the whole idea of seeing a whole batch of people from Kempston that I didn't even know before. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Was you a popular kid, would you say? Or was you outgoing?
I was outgoing. I
think you're very outgoing.
Yeah, I'm a friendly kind of guy, and do you know what? Different walks of life can basically bring you together with different groups of people. So these times, I had my football section. I used to play tennis. Music, obviously, I used to be involved in a crew like XP crew. Used to be on Risk FM on radio. Involved in music. There's the whole acting scene when I went I went and studied drama at Bedford College, and you learn a bit of Shakespeare and things like that. You learn people, you get to know people from different walks of life. You see what I'm trying to say? So my argument is that while some people are very like introverted and very kind of like keep themselves to themselves, as long as you're a decent human being, if you want to have a conversation with me and you're not a pagan, we can get along. We can get it's fine. I've got a very
pagan
kind of,
as in your intentions are bad.
Yeah.
Intentions.
You can just sense it sometimes. You feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever been wrong about sensing that?
Occasionally, and you kind of be
throws you off guard. No?
You can be pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say, in a sense of
no,
definitely, because we all have premonitions, all of us, and I would like to think like 85% of the time I'm spot on about what I think before it actually unfolds. However, there is that 15% where you can be wrong.
85 is a lot.
It is, but I
think I've got 90, but I know 90 is too much. I'm fully aware that 90 is too much.
But you kind of know. Or was
your mind just taking you down a path that you think you know everything? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, no.
Like you said, so when you think you know everything and someone says something that shocks you, you go, oh, that's a pleasant surprise. But really, you didn't know it. But because we know it all, or do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Exactly the same as
you know what it is?
If you get something right,
99% 9 times in a row, it's likely that you think, on the 10th occasion I'm going to get it right as well.
Like a duck, talks like a duck,
probably a duck. Next you know, it turns out it's a chicken.
That's what I tell you, man. Do you know what I mean?
Go on.
So I've done a quick, not research, I guess, but I always like to search for people on platforms.
Yeah.
That people want to talk to. So, example, I did the Instagram one, I've got you on that.
Yeah.
The Facebook one, I've got you on that.
Yeah.
The YouTube one.
Yeah.
I've had nothing.
Yeah.
Apart from
my music video.
One podcast.
Oh, do you know what?
You did 3 days ago.
Was it? Yeah, but you know what? It got put out 3 days ago. Yeah.
Called
Shed Beats. Do you know what? I suppose. Listen,
who are these people?
Shed Beats. Let me big up Dom right now. Let me big up P, because that was the Vibes P and Dom. Shed Beats, official Shed Beats Insta. Those guys.
They got Instagram.
Yeah, they got Insta. Yeah. Look, it was just an idea from Don's behalf that let's come together, let's have a chat and talk about.
It's fucking dope.
Yeah, and did Shed Beats? Did you actually listen to the podcast?
Don't play me like that. Of course I did.
Okay.
And they've only got one stinky video.
Yeah. But look, do you know what? There's more footage.
Video.
Yeah, there's more footage.
Cut out 15 minutes.
Yeah, but there's more footage to be put up.
Listen,
there's more footage. It's more footage.
It needs to be consistent, bro.
Yeah, I know.
When I clicked it today, I clicked
but
one video. I was like, wow.
Listen to what I'm saying. Life is crazy sometimes. I saw you last Saturday. We was in the club last Saturday. Yeah.
We was in the club. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, and listen, you got some jokes.
Go for
my
argument. Nigga, you liar. God's sake, Dezzy, man. We're live, baby. Oh, God.
Stop it. You gave me
the club.
My argument is this.
Club.
Yeah.
He was in the youth club last Saturday. It was the youth club last Saturday. Go on, what happened at the youth club?
Stop it. You have to be a walking what I'm trying to say is, in my head, I was thinking, Dad, you know what? Sometimes you go out too much. Like, you just to be cool and easy. But you know what? Something to me. That day, that Saturday, I worked my backside off from morning till night time. Mm-hmm. I was supposed to have a shower and jump into bed because I had to be up early hours to cook food for a family gathering the following day.
Yeah.
But then there was something saying to me, I'm not going to lie, this is my ego and my 17 and 18-year-old Des. I was like, I was looking in the mirror. I've come out the shower. I'm trying to tell myself, Des, you're tired. Go to bed. I've looked in the mirror. I was like, but Des, you could just go out on a bad man thing. You go out on a bad man thing. You done well today. You done well today. You deserve it. You deserve it. Go and shake a leg. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You're going with the right intention.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. And in my head, even driving to town, because obviously I don't drink, so I got the
lovely. That's what I mean.
I do. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It has its advantages. And I'm thinking, I was like, Des, you might have just messed this one up, but you've got to just go and experience the night and see what goes on. I went solo. I do that. I do. You know what? Do you know why? Because Yeah, because you know for a fact that you're gonna see people that you've got love for, and that got love for you, and it's not gonna be no problem whatsoever. It's not gonna be a problem. It's not gonna. That's how I see it anyway. And you know what? I got there, and people are like, who you out with? By this time, I've already spoken to 2 or 3 of my cousins. I've spoken to old people from workplaces, and it's just cool. I don't really have to be out with a specific person.
I can't believe you just said you do what I do. Whenever I say I do things by myself, I went to Jones by myself.
Did you?
People look at me like I'm a lunatic. Go, what?
Yeah.
By yourself? I said, bro, you've got enough beer tokens, you do what you want.
Yeah.
I can buy myself a drink, I can buy food when I go home.
Yeah.
I don't need to go out with 10,000 people.
And do you know why? Because there's a sort of mentality of, it has to be the gang, it has to be the squad.
Why are people like that?
I think that is the younger age. You know what? I think it's an element of insecurity as well, It really is, because it's almost like that safety in numbers.
I'm insecure sometimes.
But you're secure enough to still go out on your ones.
Because I find that minor. I don't want to be with 10,000 people anyway. But I mean, in general, it's hard to say. Like, maybe everyone's got their own insecurities then.
Yeah.
And I get anxious sometimes as well. But going out, you know what? Then it boils back to, like I said, I have a drink. But then you don't even have a drink.
I don't. I just know I'm gonna see people, and this is what I was trying to lead to.
Atmosphere again.
Like sometimes I forget that because I cook food for people, when people see me, they don't even see Dezzy. They see a piece of chicken wearing glasses. They sometimes they do. Sometimes they see me, and it's almost like they associate me with food straight away from the beginning.
Is that bad?
And this is the point I'm getting onto. Yeah, right. In my head, when I'm going to town, I'm thinking, oh God, maybe you should just went straight to bed. I've gone out. And one of the conversations I had before I see you is a guy saying to me, Dezzy, my son's having a birthday party in such and such a time. I want you to do the food for it. Let me take your number. I haven't even gone out on a business tip. I've gone out just to enjoy myself. But that's happened. You hear what I'm trying to say?
It's called welcome to the real world, friend. Yeah. You're flipping business. You're about to be.
And I realised that I realised I'm not just me as an individual. Yes. I'm like kind of a walking representation of my brand. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yes, bro.
So for that reason, so like I'm like a walking advert to a certain extent, even though I'm just trying to have a good time.
You're visible now.
Exactly.
Hello, now, can I have some food?
Yeah, there you go. So now when I've seen you, I spotted you, blessed you, and when the first thing you said to me, listen, I want to do a podcast with you.
You see?
I want to do a podcast. Yeah, and again, when I've gone home that night, after shaking a leg, because I did manage to shake a leg, this, that, and the other, I said to myself, you know what? That journey into town wasn't in vain. It made sense.
That happens to me
it made sense. It made sense. You see what I'm trying to say? It made sense. You know what I'm trying to say? It's crazy how it works. So from that, I say to myself, all right, I don't want to be out there week in, week out, but I also understand sometimes it's good to let your hair down and enjoy yourself, but there's other things that come from it that you didn't even expect. I wasn't planning to basically book in no parties for whatever.
Or even do a podcast.
Or even do a podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
Things worked out.
Exactly. So the irony about the shed beats guys is that was very spontaneous. The conversations we had, there's one where we're talking about Kanye West. There's another one.
I see Kanye.
Yeah, okay.
But I need to put it out consistently. So I'm typing in Dezzys.
Yeah.
I've seen 50 and the way they cut it, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Done?
Yeah.
And I was really getting into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm about to vibe.
Yeah.
Or click that for yes.
Yeah.
No one sees this apart from me.
Yeah.
I even subscribed.
Okay. I'm gonna have a word with him because the reason
be on it as well.
Yeah, this can work. He messaged me today saying, remember the podcast I invited you to? Are you gonna make it tonight? I was like, oh my god, I've double booked.
Oh, you double booked.
But then,
well, listen, shed nigga, he's mad. He's mad, shed nigga. But yeah, definitely.
But then I realized that. Well, he said to me, do you know what? We might actually be better to do it for tomorrow instead.
Okay.
Because I was actually planning to do 2 in one night. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, wrong.
I know.
I got Dezzy today, man. Got it for hours.
Yeah, for real. But it's kind of worked out fine because one of the people who's supposed to be part of it couldn't make it. Okay. So then they're going to be around tomorrow. I was like, you know what? Yeah, we can do it tomorrow instead.
Worked again.
You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, so that is that. But the beauty of doing that initial shedcast with those guys is that it just flowed like a do you know what it is? I'll be honest with you. When you have 3 different human beings in a room who all have an opinion, all have a unique perception, who have their own experiences, and then you share that between 3 people, you now have a conversation flowing. You now have a chemistry flowing. You now have a podcast.
Do you want to tell you how podcasts work? Because humans are so intrigued how other humans act.
Yeah, and think as well.
Forever evolving.
Yes.
When we have a conversation, we're like sharing like years of experience.
Of course.
All
and you know what? People might know you from your post on Insta. They might know you from your picture. But do they know you as a human being and what you've been through and what you've experienced? Sometimes they don't.
I hope I'm giving you an insight today.
Yeah.
But no, they don't.
Yeah. There you go.
But that's why I personally do a podcast. It's my therapy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Listen, BT was onto something when they came up with their flipping slogan from years ago. It's good to talk.
British Telecom.
Yeah, British Telecom. Yeah, it's good to talk. They was telling people something because at the end of the day, this is one thing in my view, the way how society is. Yes, social media can be a powerful thing, but what is it prevented people from doing? Having conversations in real life on occasions, because no one's actually flipping communicating face to face in the way how we used to when all of this flipping influx of technology wasn't even around.
But on the flip side, you can blow overnight.
You can. There's 2 sides to the coin. There's 2 sides to the coin. Of course, and that is life. That is like that. That is like. Of course, you need it. It's needed. Listen, I think Instagram and Facebook went down the other day. Like,
you know what? That's so true.
Did it not affect you? Did it affect you in any way?
Let me tell you this, Dezzy. I thought in my head,
if
I see someone complaining, I'm gonna diss them and say, you flip it, relax, bro.
Yeah.
When are you born? 2010.
Yeah.
Why are you so obsessed with this?
Yeah.
Bro, I've just deactivated my account for months. I don't give.
Yeah.
For me, it's a way to speak to people when it's. it's promotion for what I'm doing. Other than that, Dezzy, I don't give two shits.
Yeah.
I don't. Sometimes people get onto me and say, "Oh, you didn't watch my story," and that. I don't watch it because I don't watch any stories. I just don't give Instagram that time of day.
Yeah.
So when people watch me, I always feel blessed.
Yeah.
Thank God you clicked on me.
Yeah.
I don't click on anyone.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. My Snapchat is like a graveyard.
Yeah.
I don't click. I rarely click. So for me, when social media went down the other day, I was like, I hope I don't see no one going, oh my God. I'm like,
yeah.
It's a minute of love. Like, go play 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Go play cops and robbers, man.
Go have a game of Kirby.
Do something.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. British Bulldog or something.
Something, man. But
and for me, I think there are two sides to the Queen.
British Bulldog, you know.
Yeah, listen, man. Listen, it's the realest out here. Go. You know what I'm saying? You're stuck in the mud, mate. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just standing there like with your arms out, just like, free me. Yeah, oh God. Yeah. Yo, listen, you all did. It feels a gallus, you know what I'm saying? Oh God. You
got me. Come and give me a kiss. Stop tripping over, nigga. Real talk, Dezzy. Oh, you got me. I said, fuck's sake.
Stop it.
No, man.
You got jokes. You really got jokes.
The flip side to the coin, definitely.
Yeah. And do you know what? For me, when you push a way of life into people's life for such a long period of time, there's always going to be a knock-on effect if all of a sudden you just take it away. There's a void now. They're used to something. They're used to waking up in the morning, seeing their notifications. They're used to going from Snapchat to Insta to...
Yeah, that wasn't live
I know it wasn't, and this is the power of what is... My argument is that it can become a drug. You know, but my sort of consolation with me personally, the way how I use my social media, and you can relate to this, use it for a business purpose, but you also use it for reaching out to people as human beings.
That's definitely key.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because
it's an olive branch.
Definitely.
Hey, come see what I'm doing.
Definitely.
Or, hey, like, not even see what I'm doing. Hey, come share my experience.
Yes, but you know what I like about your page is that the content that you produce, it kind of helps to keep the spark of what it means to be a human being. Because I personally think the way how this world is, if you're not careful, we're all going to turn into cyborgs. We will turn into... If you look at some of these kids, the way how they can use a computer, it's unbelievable.
You know, it's how some of them... their approach to life.
Yes.
It's so wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not a person that can say I know right from wrong to everything.
Yeah.
But some of their approaches to life is wrong.
Yeah.
It's not how you need the basis. You need manners.
Yeah.
You need to be courtesy, you need to be polite.
Yes.
I'm gonna be like Chris Eubank.
Yeah.
You need to be chivalrous.
Yeah.
People grow up just not with the morals, so it's producing a whole nother era of
different kind of people,
different breed of people.
Yeah, definitely. And my feeling is that I still remember the days of 45 and in. I still remember the days of
it was yesterday.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? I still remember the days of not ginger, knocking for your mates, not having a mobile phone.
Wait. Not ginger was not knocking for your mates. Not ginger was knocking your neighbour's house that you knew gets vexed and you're running hard around the car.
I'm not even trying to conflate the two. That was a list, innit? That was a list. I'm not even trying to say they're the same.
Your neighbour said it was you. Yeah. That one door with your friends.
Listen, them times there, I was short and round in it, so I couldn't even really get away too.
Yeah, but you're good at hiding, right?
Yeah,
like
of course.
Me.
You had to be. You had to be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sick, you know.
Yeah.
45 minutes, you ready?
Go on.
I'll go in my house. And I'll sit in my house for hours.
You should be banned. You should be banned. You should have been banned.
I didn't get banned. I won. There's a play game. I lose that number.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But, so let me ask you this. So, why, more than cooking food, why catering? Why? You just spat a 16 bar here. I'm sure you could have wanted to be a rapper at one time.
At one point I did.
So why catering?
Because I mean that's a very big question in my view. When you ask big questions, it warrants like
a big answer,
a massive answer.
I'm here for a long time, baby.
Yeah.
Talk to me, man. I'm curious.
there's always love for music, and there always will be. Yeah, I don't forget my bars from God knows the ones that used to get reloads when I was in Cabana. You know what I'm trying to say?
Cabana manuals.
Yeah. I was in Cabana. Yeah. Risk FM as well. Before what we've got now?
In the beats.
In the beats. Yeah.
I'm joking.
Oh boy. Before in the beats, there was Risk FM, and that was our thing. XP crew back in the day. People would know. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Cool. Yeah, cool, man. No,
that's cool.
We'll record it with live GCPT. Love for that. Love for the footage, man.
Love, George. Love. So I never forget, but I do remember saying to myself and having this sort of light bulb moment, saying, I don't necessarily see myself in this industry going the distance the way how I'd like things to be, mainly because there's a lot of negative connotations attached to it.
The music,
not yet the music
or entertainment.
Not so much the entertainment, but I think if I'm going to be blunt, right, the content of what some 16, 17 and 18-year-olds were speaking about in those days, I think it attracted a type of mentality. I think it attracted a type of mindset, and those things led to friction, and it led to kind of beef and passa. That's how it was. And okay, look, as a young person, you either have to stand up to that situation and live up to it, or you have to say to yourself, do you know, there's two types of people in those situations. You lived up and you were recognized as someone who stood up to that situation, or you were someone who wasn't frontline.
Okay.
And them times there, people know me for who I am. I lived that life of basically being, you know what, if it's on, then it's on. And that was the situation. But then I was raised to be a good boy, and I'm sure you was raised to be a good boy too.
What do you mean good boy? I call good boy good morals.
Yeah, good morals, and you know,
a good boy though, man. I've seen a lot of shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, course.
But I've had good morals. My mother always said to me, I'm one of them kids. I don't know if you're the same. I don't care what you like in this house. When you leave the flipping wall, you better make sure you treat people right.
Yeah,
so thank you. I overcompensate for my please and thank you. Because I have a mum drilled it in my head. But I wouldn't necessarily say I was a good.
But was you raised to be a good child? Was you raised?
We all tried to be. I mean, I went to Sunday school.
Yeah.
I had my please and thank yous. I'm still respectful to this day. I would definitely open a door. For anyone. I would pull a chair out for a woman. Yes. But good boy is a hard thing to. My situation was more of a situation. I had one too. And it dawned on me that I couldn't be going back. I couldn't go back to my mum's house, and I couldn't go and sit in my nan's house and say to them, yeah, mum, yeah, nan, I was in a fight last night and this happened, or yeah, nan, I was in a fight last night and that happened, because they're looking at me thinking, did we teach you to basically go out there and be fighting on the street? Dezzy?
Again.
It's still morals.
You shouldn't even be in that environment.
I never got it that deep.
Yeah.
But that's enough. You are how you are.
For real. It made sense. And even though there was love for the music, this, that and the other, you realise that there were certain things attached to it where you had two types of people. Certain people saying, you know what, I've enjoyed my run with this thing, but I'm on to the next. And then you had the other type of people saying that it's sad to say, but some people have even lost their life because of that sort of way of living. Yeah. Some people went to jail because of that way of living.
Drug addicts.
Some people are drug addicts from it. Some people wish to still keep that vibe alive to this very day. They embraced it. Instead of seeing the negative connotations of it, they almost embraced it and sort of tried to
not just from music though. Maybe music as well as lifestyle, as well as, because music is always what you're living.
Yes.
So if you're living about cooking meals,
and
you want to drop a new freestyle, I expect you to say, I just cooked this banging meal.
Yeah.
I've done this from. If they are selling a bit of weed and they are making a bit of music, chances are they're going to tell you what.
Yeah, very true. Selling weed. Very true indeed. But you see me with the food for me, it wasn't necessarily planned. I was on this path where I was working in different environments, like call centers, this, that, and the other.
No way.
Yes.
You did all that malarkey before you got into what you're doing.
Yes, definitely. I worked at Autoglass. I've worked at places raising money for charities.
How long ago did you start this?
Eon, which is now Eon, but when I was there, it was Powergen to begin with.
Wow.
Yeah. This was like when I was in my late teenage years and early 20s. I was doing all of this. And this was when I first came out of the music scene around those times there. And I remember working at the college and saying to myself, do you know what, like, what can I remember being in my house, sitting in my room thinking, what can I do to make something of myself from my own ability, from the ability that I have? What can I do that can basically possibly take me forward? And yeah, these times I had bars, I had lyrics, I had tunes, but then I was like, you know what, like, I started to get, I know how to cook myself a piece of food. If I get hungry and Mumsy's not about, I know how to do that.
Wait, slow down. A piece of food, bro, you're cooking platters for people. What do you mean a piece of food?
Okay, so
go to the supermarket and buy a curry goat set and thing?
It wasn't that deep. I was raised with good food, so I knew what food was. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So therefore,
you live with your mum and your dad, by the way?
No, just my mum.
Okay,
just my mum.
She's the one that's cooking all this great food.
Yeah. Okay. And when my nan used to live down the road from me, literally a 10-second walk, and I knew when I was hungry, I could go to her house and get the wickedest plate of food ever. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah, and it was just natural. She did it naturally. Yeah. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah. And my point, for guests or not. Yeah, for guests or not. And there came a time when I was like, let me try and emulate what my people are doing for me, what they've done and what I've been raised. Let me try and emulate it. And I remember going to Cade's Barbers when Cade
was where?
On Midland Road at the gym. In the small room in the gym. And he used to cut my hair, right? Always love for Cade. And
shout out to Cade, man.
Of course. Every time he's doing his thing. Cade is doing his thing, and he's been doing it for a long time.
Shout out to Cade.
Most definitely. And I remember taking him a plate of food or in a container one time, and I think I just did that out of love. Just out of love. Yeah, Cade, just taste some of this, innit?
Was that out of love as well as you think?
There was no business. Listen. I'll tell you why.
Stop it.
No, listen. You have to understand this. You have to understand this. Cade would never be forgotten in my eyes because he was the person that said, you know what, Des, you can mostly do something with this.
So Cade sparked that.
He did. He certainly did. Man. Because I remember being in my room saying to myself, what can I do with my life where I can actually generate maybe some sort of an income, but with something that I feel passionate about and something that I actually enjoy doing. And I was like, food, I'll cook food for people, I'll cook food. So I just started doing little bits and pieces in the kitchen, and then I remember taking it to Cade when he used to cut my hair, and then he said to me, Des, listen, come to the barbers, I will take food off you. And you know, you can go to the flipping barbers around the corner and see what they're saying as well. I was like, all right. And you know, these times I was on a mountain bike, I was cooking food, and I had food in a flipping Sports Direct bag on one side of the flipping handlebars and food in a sports bag on the other side of the handlebars. And I was biking into town.
You know what? I remember this.
This is what I'm trying to say to you. This is what I'm trying to say.
I remember this, bro.
This is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, man, on the grizzly.
This is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. I would be in the kitchen from like 4 or 5 in the morning cooking food and then I used to be massive rush. Like used to be like a time bomb ticking away. I knew I had to get out of the house by 11:30, 12 latest. Do you know what I mean? Get into town, make sure people got food for lunchtime, this, that, and the other. And I would never forget that feeling of people saying to me, Des, I like what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, that feeling. And even though I used to bust the gut, I used to go to my nan's house at the end of every sort of shift and be like, yeah, nan, like I sold like 5 portions.
Your nan passed away recently?
I think it was 2013, I think it was.
So she was alive to see what
yes, she was. She was more than happy. Yes, more than happy for her man. Because you know why? She used to be there.
What was her advice?
I remember when times are stressful and I was like, Nan, I don't know if I want to do this, but she said, I don't think you should quit. I don't think you should think you should give up doing what you're doing. She did say to me, if you think you can't handle it and it's making you depressed, then don't do it. But I think you should do it because people still like the food. And the reason being is I first started off, I believe, on a Friday and Saturday. I think I was doing it, but she would be there when my phone was ringing on a Monday, Tuesday, and a Wednesday as well. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
And when I used to come and be like, yeah, Nan, I sold all the food, she used to be just happy for me. You hear what I'm trying to say? And the reason I love my nan a lot, is because we shared the same birthday, both of us New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, yeah. But New Year's Eve babies, 50 years apart exactly.
Wow.
50 years apart. You hear what I'm saying? And she was like one of the man them to me. Do you see what I'm saying? I could sit with my nan the way how I'm sitting with you now and talk about anything, whether it was football or whether it was, you know what I'm saying, anything whatsoever. She used to flip in, even though like, I'm a Man United man. She knows I love Man United, but she was vexed about the fact that when Sir Alex Ferguson booted the boot and it hit David Beckham and nicked him in the face.
Okay,
and she was vexed about that. She was vexed. She's like, I don't like the man for them things there, you see. I don't like him for them things.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? But I used to be like, but Nan, like, you know what I mean? It's Sir Alex Ferguson. It's the Man United manager. You can't really diss it. He's certified. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, she used to speak. Listen, she could call me for anything, and she was there for me if I needed anything. So never forget my nan. You hear what I'm saying? I used to take her food. Like, she used to call me up and place orders with me. I'd be like, Nan, I can't charge you for this. She's like, no, listen, put this in your mouth. You taught this one saying, there is no friendship in trade. There is no friendship in trade. That's what my nan taught me, right?
What did your nan do?
She was a nurse at Bromwell Hospital for the best part of 40 years.
So how does she know about that secret gem? There's no French. That's a good gem to know.
You have to understand, them people from that generation, they just live life different. That's why I love my nan so dearly.
There's no
she was a human being in its purest of forms in my eyes. She wasn't influxed by the whole social media and the whole kind of before she was. That's how you hear what I'm trying to say.
So would you say that's where you got your half life from?
Yeah, because you realise what the ins and what the sort of realness about life should actually be about. The things actually are important, as opposed to the news telling you what you need to be worried about. As opposed to, you see how, look, for example, in the last few weeks we've had the Asian woman who came from ISIS trying to get into the country. Right, you've had the MJ situation.
I don't watch that.
Right, okay.
I don't want to watch it.
Right, okay. That's that.
I watch R. Kelly though.
Right, okay.
Am I wrong for that?
Well, boy, that is that's a different conversation.
That's a different conversation. I watch the R. Kelly, but I can't watch the
because you don't want to ruin the perception.
MJ today before I come in.
Yeah, I know.
R. Kelly, I'm muting R. Kelly. My nigga said there was my friend said, yo.
Yeah.
He goes, I go, you muted R. Kelly? He goes, no. I played Did You Ever Think I'll Be This Rich the other day? I said, you're sick.
Yeah, I know.
MJ, I don't want to hear. So you watch both of them?
I haven't watched any of it, and I haven't put my energy into it. And my argument is this: is that I feel like what's happening in the world is that the world is telling us what to put our energy into, as opposed. Exactly. And my argument, I've seen people get into flipping debates on Facebook and conversations, and my argument, there's two things. Was I there to see R. Kelly do ABCD? No.
Whoa! Slow down with the R. Kelly one though. We've got footage of him doing it.
Yeah. Okay. But even
MJ, there's no footage of him bumming the kid.
Okay. I accept that. I accept that. But my argument,
just in case we end up being Big Dezzy.
Literally, you know. My argument here is that whilst everyone's been occupied doing that, I've been investing my time and energy into something that's either gonna sustain my own life or take me forward, and I find it so much more healthier as opposed to getting into arguments and discussions about a situation that doesn't even bring a smile to anyone's face, let alone benefit you as a human being. Okay. You know what I'm trying to say?
Not worth the energy.
It's not worth the energy, and the energy that does come from it is not even healthy. It's negative, and it's almost depressing. This world is in a situation as it is. You don't need more of a situation on your shoulders. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And for me, you have to block so many things out in order to kind of like just have that sort of peace or sort of like serenity within your own life. And by doing that and blocking it all out, all of a sudden what you're left with is like this sort of pathway or an avenue to basically be who you are naturally as a human being. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Even me playing a little ping pong with Frey. Listen, I haven't played it in years, right? Beating Frey 20 points to 15 was fantastic.
So you got out of your comfort zone?
Well, I was not comfort. It's doing something I haven't done that I actually enjoy, but the fact that I did it for the first time in years was fantastic. Fantastic. The fact that I wasn't even expecting to see a flipping a ping pong table out there. Cool. Fantastic. The fact that flipping I'm playing George now and George is dropping all kind of flipping serves on me with certain all kind of side spin and I can't return it. I'm trying to do the maths now in my head, thinking, right, do I need to put backspin on this? Do I need to put side spin on it? But what I do know is he's definitely going to beat me at this rate. But it doesn't matter. I need to try and counteract it. You know what I'm saying? Big up George, by the way. Big up George. He did his thing. He did his thing out there. He
was smoking, man.
He did his thing. He did his thing.
So back around and bring it full circle. So Cade gave you a bit of insight.
Yeah, and
you started biking to town.
Yes, and you know, there's another man who need to big up.
5 in the morning.
Yes, there's another
house by 12 or 1.
Yes, yeah. Still doing deliveries like in the evening as well with food
when
that was still a bit.
Do you mean everyone meet me at this place, or do you mean
people will call me and I will shack to yours? I will shack to yours. Yeah, I will shack on my bike to where you are, innit?
Made portions.
Yes, it's all packaged up these times.
Set meals now.
Yeah, set meals. So
I've only got X and Y.
Yeah. And there are certain favourites, and what I sort of enjoy is the fact that there were certain dishes that
people favoured,
and it was something that was more for my imagination. It wasn't something that I saw on TV. So the whole combination of doing honey and barbecue ribs and macaroni pie. Do you see what I'm saying? That was something that wasn't.
You know what I need.
Go on.
I see who's I got
the chicken burger.
The chicken burger.
The chicken burger. There've been other people that say about the chicken burger in it.
Oh my
days, yeah.
Lovely tender. Music behind it. Nice music, like the lovely. Look how it just sings. And you hear the frying. I said, Dezzy's fucking killing it now. I need a chicken burger, my G. I'm paying full whack.
God. Yeah, go on.
Maybe my son's birthday, I'm going to bring you round. I'm going to say, I'm going to say, Dezzy, I need you to look after some people.
Yeah,
some people walk on with some food.
Yeah, that can work.
I'm going to give you a tab.
That can work.
Price and say, look, have fun with it. I'm not going to tell you what to cook.
Yeah.
Leave it in your hands.
Yeah.
Free bill.
Yeah.
As many people, if you can do it, and have fun with it, innit?
Yeah.
I think flipping hell, bro. When I saw that chicken burger, I was like,
yes.
That's the. I like my black food.
Yeah.
I do like a white food with
of course.
Chicken burger, I was like, hey. Hold on a minute.
Listen, when I was younger, I used to eat doner kebabs all the time religiously.
Okay.
I went through the phase of being a bit more healthy. I had a doner kebab like about a few months ago.
Yeah.
I tried to convince myself that I liked it.
Yeah.
But then I realised that my body was almost kind of rejecting it a bit. Right. My body was rejecting it. Right. So I said to myself, you know what? I know that lamb is tasty. It's got its own unique flavour, the same way how goat has. What can I do to have the lamb experience to emulate the kind of doner experience, but without going to have a doner kebab from these places? Do you know what I did?
Go on.
I went to the supermarket. I purchased a leg of lamb. I slow cooked it till it was tender and soft. I shredded it into bits and pieces.
Okay.
I got a tortilla wrap. I then got some salad. I got some Guindella green chili peppers, the one that's got the acidic kind of taste to it. I put some fresh salad, some onion, some tomatoes, some red cabbage, and I put that inside the tortilla wrap, and I wrapped it up with a little drizzle of flipping Perinay sauce and some barbecue sauce. And you know what? I got the flavour of the lamb that I was looking for. And when I bit into it, I was like, you know what?
Perfect.
This is me right now. This is yeah, it is. I sold 2 of them. Like the first 2 went on.
So do you have a menu?
I do have a menu. No, it's the fact that because things are ever evolving, not every single last thing is that I'm able to do is on my current menu. Do you see what I'm trying to say? For example, the lamb tortilla wraps, that's the latest edition.
So
right?
I need to add it?
I need to add it on there.
Are you very consistent with adding? Because I'll give you an example. People say, hey, when I walk to buy a car, check our website.
Yeah.
Bro, I need to see every single meal you have on that website. I don't want to hear you uploading one tomorrow. I need to hear that. I need to see it very quickly because I need to buy it. Do you know what I mean? I always just get pissed off. I just think, well, you got all these cars on Auto Trader, but you got none on your website. Yeah. So I would say to you, grab this by the throat.
Yes.
Strangle the hell out of it.
Yeah. That's the way it has to be.
You've already done the legwork. You've done the grassroots. People know who you are in this town. Yeah. That's all cool.
Yeah.
But how are you going to let man know? How are you going to get, as sad it sounds, the celebrities to post or someone that's got a bit of influence to take you to the next level? Yeah. Because there's only so much we can do in this town.
Of course. Definitely. I mean, another thing that I hate using excuses, but this isn't an excuse. This is a valid part of life.
You definitely could be a rich man in this town, by the way.
I believe that's possible. Yeah.
But at that level. Yeah. Not that as in, you sit back and say,
yeah.
Here's my story.
Yeah.
In this town, you definitely can be a rich man.
But you know what? It depends on what drives you, because you see me, I look at people like, what's his name? Is it Robin Williams, I believe?
Okay. It's not far.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, this guy,
Robin Williams.
Robin, yeah, he's not alive anymore, and I believe one of the things that he suffered from was an element of depression. Yeah. I use this man as an example because I said to myself, it's not the first time I've realised it, but I've realised that you can have as much money in the world, you can have millions of pounds in your bank account, but if you are lacking something substance-wise in your life and it doesn't bring you that happiness, then all that money that you have literally doesn't count for a single dime. It doesn't count for a single thing.
Balance.
You need a balance. And for
friendship, love and money.
Yeah. And even listen, definitely Bob Marley even came out with this line. Some people are so
what money in my pocket and I just
can't get no love. That's who's that guy there? Yeah, it's Dennis Brown, I think. I think Dennis Brown. But Bob Marley came out with a line saying some people are so poor that all they have is money. Yeah. And these things, exactly.
Yeah.
And some people might be physically rich, but they're spiritually and morally bankrupt.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Minus.
And for me, I realised, yes, we need money so we can pay our bills, and we need money so the world can spin around to a certain extent. But it is not the be all and end all, and it does not equate to being full blown happiness.
Well, that's why you will succeed. You've cracked it.
Right. You hear what I'm trying to say? So I know there's a massive significance towards making sure that I'm happy within myself as a human being before anything else. Do you see what I'm saying?
Are you happy with yourself?
At this current time in my life, with certain experiences that I've had over the last few weeks, it's put a smile on my face.
So it should.
Yeah.
New year, bro.
But you know why? Because it's
already in March, you know.
Yeah. I know.
Don't fuck around.
I know.
Stop telling yourself things out loud. I always tell myself 2020 established.
Yes.
That's the first time I said that out loud in front
targets.
of people. 2020 established. I have to always tell myself that.
Yeah.
And look how the universe is saying
2019 right now. So you know what I'm saying. Time is not waiting about.
It's not waiting. We're just in March, you know, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I could have. Everything what happens for it pans out. I could have told you this months ago. Hey, come on, this, but it felt right when it felt right.
Yeah.
Now it's right. You understand?
Yeah. No, definitely. And look, these things, like people who are achieving things in life and doing things in life and have ambition, aspiration. There's a funny, crazy way how life it makes their paths cross. Do you see what I'm saying? And there are people that you don't really necessarily need to be around, and you kind of need to bypass those people. And there's people actually you've got some sort of oomph towards
something different,
and you can sort of be it does, and you can be an asset towards what they're trying to do, and you can be
as well as
to your own. You can be an asset to them, and they can be an asset to you. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what life's about: being around like-minded people, especially those people who are successful. You look at someone like Richard Branson, you look at his inner circle, you look at Alan Sugar, you look at his inner circle. Those people, he's not surrounded by flipping planks or idiots, fools, waste men.
So,
you know.
I always like to surround myself with people that are a bit smarter than me, though.
You have to listen.
I like feeling dumb to my friends.
Listen, every day's a learning day.
Smart, by the way.
Yeah.
So when my friends make me feel dumb, I say,
I
don't want to tell them at the time. I'll go home and say,
Do you know
what
I love the most? Do you know what I love the most? When someone teaches me something that I never knew.
Okay.
When someone teaches me about something that I never knew.
Are you open to be taught?
Of course I am.
Not many people are, bro.
Listen, there's a saying.
Are you open to be taught about your food?
Of course.
I
tell people, please tell me what you think about feedback, please, and be honest. Don't try and, you know what I mean,
sugarcoat it.
You know what I'm trying to say. Be real.
The pun there.
Definitely, because there's a saying, like, I think it's along the lines of flipping, the difference between the fool and the wise man is that the fool learns from his own mistakes, but the wise man learns by watching the fool make their mistakes.
Interesting.
Yeah, and my argument is that in order to get to that level where you're kind of certified, you have to kind of
take constructive criticism.
Of course you do.
I only appreciate, maybe I'm wrong, I only appreciate criticism from people I deem successful to me.
Look, sometimes I've had this argument. Yeah, I know.
Like you're a food connoisseur.
I know.
You can't tell me about my food.
Yeah, I know.
If you go in and eating doner meat every weekend,
who are you to tell me about food? But you know what? The way I see it is, if you've got the biggest waste man on the roadside, and then in your head you're trying to be thinking, right, does 2 and 2 equal 5? But then the biggest waste man on the road comes up to you and says, do you know what? There's 2 and 2 equals 4. Can you then basically look at this man and be like, you are the biggest waste man on the roadside? Or do you take on board the fact that the biggest waste man on the roadside told you what you needed to actually know?
Yeah.
And my argument is that, do you know what? The universe has this funny way of basically, using people that you might not necessarily have the most respect for, but they almost will be elevated in your mind now because they've actually come out with some sort of asset or some sort of value or some sort of substance that's relevant to your life. And for that reason, you can't even diss that person anymore. You actually have to acknowledge that fact. You know what? Okay, what you're doing over there might not be the best, but equally
might not be for me.
Might not be for me. But what you just said, I have to extract that and I have to respect it too. Yeah. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So
I extract everything from everyone.
Yeah.
Anything I've deemed that I want, I'll take.
And I personally think the universe does that because it does.
That's how we evolve.
Definitely, because I think the universe doesn't want any one person thinking they're more high and mighty above anybody else.
That's why the universe made it. Another story, but anyway, we have God.
Yeah, of course. No matter
how smart Stephen was, higher being.
Of course.
Programmed to think there's always higher.
Yes.
So we can never be super.
Yeah. And what it should breed is humility. You hear what I'm trying to say? It should breed an element of having a humble heart and a humble mind, because those people, even from a biblical perspective, it's the proud and haughty that get brought low, and it's the humble and the meek that get risen. You understand that they rise, they get elevated. You hear what I'm trying to say? So don't get me wrong, it's easy to get excited and feel very encouraged about the good work that you do, but you have to make sure you stay very grounded and what you're doing. Keep repeating what you're doing and don't get too ahead of yourself, because that whole idea of check me out, I'm the main man, nothing can bring me down, that sort of money it will. That sort of, I'm still waiting for people like Money Mayweather to get knocked out, because I don't think he will.
He won't.
But
impossible.
But
what happened?
But
no, I'm
not saying. Do you know?
No, but with him, he's done.
I don't think he's stupid enough to even put himself in that position.
That's what I'm trying to
tell you. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
He's done.
Yeah. He's very clever to the extent where he's made his sort of PR.
He's the boxing great. He's the greatest great. He's the greatest great.
Before Ali?
This is what I'm saying. Ali's the great.
Yeah.
Mayweather's the greatest great. His boxing is something. His boxing. If you're gonna put, I'm not saying that. Tyson said one thing. He goes, Ali was great because he could walk with the people. Ali could go anywhere on this planet, not where planet, and people would. That's the champ.
Yeah.
Floyd don't do that. He has to have a security guards everywhere if he goes, even where he lives.
Yeah.
So Tyson's argument was he can't be the great.
Yeah.
My argument is Floyd hasn't been knocked out, hasn't lost. His fighting style's impeccable. He's the greatest great. He is fighting. He hasn't lost, bro. What do you want? He beat up everyone in his.
Do you think all of his? Do you think all of his fights have been squeaky clean without any kind of
not all
controversy?
Boxing's not squeaky clean.
No, I'm sorry. No. My question is: do you think all of his fights have been
without controversy? So
without
he should have won all of them.
Yeah.
To the ones I've seen, yes. My thing is this with Floyd. Yeah, honestly. He puts people in the matrix. So you watch someone fight and you go, I could do that. And once you come face to face with him and realise his reach is so long for his size, he's athletically built, his speed is quicker than average, all the shit he's doing,
all of that
puts you in the matrix.
Yeah.
And before you know it,
he picks you off.
He might be tapping you, but 8 rounds have gone. Now you have to be losing because you've lost 8 rounds. Oh, let me force him. Let me put the pressure on him. Let me just pick you apart.
Yeah.
Pacquiao, remember how long was waiting for the Pacquiao
fight?
Remember? Pacquiao fought with that, and Pacquiao was put in the matrix. He was just like playing. It's like Pacquiao was put in the matrix either way. Floyd is the greatest, man. He's the greatest great. Ali's the greatest, but Floyd's the greatest great. Boxing wise. I'm sorry, Dezzy.
I think he deserves.
Boxing, right?
He deserves ratings.
He
deserves
his
ratings. Of course, you can't technique and everything. You know what I mean?
Great is great.
Yeah, I get that.
He hasn't lost. Yeah. He hasn't felt a defeat.
For me, boxing as a sport, sometimes I do think there's some sort of. How can I put this? Sometimes I think certain fights have possibly even been brought. And I do
rigged,
think, rigged.
Yeah.
But I think there's so much money involved in it that certain people have taken dives, or certain fights have not been as genuine and sincere. And with Floyd, I think the one person that could have possibly challenged him was Pacquiao to kind of take him off that throne.
Pacquiao took All right.
But I personally think when I look at the Pacquiao fight now, there was something very weird.
Do you want me to tell you what was weird?
Because go on.
He was put in the Matrix. When you're in front of the man, Dezzy, and he's doing these moves that you've seen all your life and you watched all his footage, but you just can't hit him. Dezzy, we're sparring, yeah? And I keep jabbing you, and you see the jab keep coming. But every time you see the jab coming, you get hit and you throw. You just can't hit me.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you spend 8 rounds and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I've lost 8 rounds to Keon. He keeps doing this really, really weird jab, and I've seen this jab so many times on video, but I just can't catch him.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
He puts people in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Everyone that fights him before, watch the press conference. Oh, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna get close and wrestle him.
Yeah.
And sort of the same thing. Yeah. But when we're in the ring, it's different.
Yeah.
He's built abnormal. For his weight size, his reach is like, it's stupidly long. It's like, see how John Jones is?
Yeah.
He's like built like, not built like a John, but John Jones is unique, like Floyd's unique. For his weight class, his arm should not reach that far.
Yeah.
So when people are throwing all they got, the kitchen sink at him, and he just leans back a bit.
Yeah.
And then comes whack.
Yeah.
Tag, you're it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
Thinking, fuck.
Yeah.
I just threw left, right.
Yeah.
Him, and he tags me.
Yeah.
And he does it for 8th round, and he's fit.
Yeah.
We know it, fight's over. And then you go,
for me, one of his greatest fights for me, was the way how he dismembered Ricky Hatton.
But that's what I'm trying to say to you. Ricky Hatton wasn't put in the Matrix. He was just someone that wanted to try and knock his block off.
I know.
Whereas
But
Pacquiao was Matrix. That's why he acted out of character. Ricky Hatton was in character. Tried to knock his block off. Couldn't catch me.
The only reason I say that is because there was this whole lead up of Ricky Hatton. I think it was in New York or wherever it was where they fought. And
he's British. We're gonna pump him up.
But he brought all of his entourage from Manchester with him.
Like Britain, right? We do that.
Yeah, we do. But then my argument is this is the thing for me. Yeah, this is the thing. I'm gonna try and contain myself here. Me and my old friend, we always used to laugh about this. Yeah. He's there on stage with the mic in his hand, and he's screaming, Ricky, and he's screaming, "Who have you come here to see?" And they're like, "You!" And then he's come out with, "Who's going home with the belts?" And they're like, "You are!" Now, if anyone remembers that Ricky Hatton fight against Floyd, all I'm saying is that I think the first knockout was with him taking a blow. Not realize he's taking a blow, but he's basically knocked out on his feet and he walks into the corner post and then he hits the ground. You hear what I'm saying? Boom. You know what I'm saying? And the manner.
Floyd's great though.
Of course. And you can't take nothing away from Floyd for that.
I feel like knocked no one out.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. This is what I did.
He's so great.
Yeah. And the manner of the way how Ricky lost, considering the whole kind of big I am and the hype and all of that.
Yeah.
For me, it was almost like an element of comedy. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
You
can't be screaming out who have you coming to see you and who's going over the belts and they're screaming you are, and that happens when you go in the ring. You can't. But the thing is, this is the thing with boxing. If you're gonna talk all that crud, you have to back it up. You have to. No, but it's not even what thinking. You have to go and do it now. You have to go and do it now. You have to go and do it now. You have to go and do it. There is no way on this planet I am screaming to people who is going home with the bells. Yeah.
Go do it quick.
No way. Who's going home with the bells?
You are. You are. Now, boy, Ricky Hatton's alright, man. But like I'm saying, he fought a great. Dezzy.
Stop it.
Dezzy fought a great.
Stop it.
Fucking hell, man.
Stop it now, please.
What can I got a few questions there. You had a little gander earlier.
Yeah. Go for it.
A little fire round and that.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm gonna warm your brain up quick.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm gonna say to you, what do you think your strongest traits are? What's your strongest traits? What do you say?
I'm a great believer in being the difference between morally right and morally wrong in it. I'm a great believer trying to represent what morals are all about and being morally upright. I strongly believe. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I used to watch a lot of Judge Judy when I was younger, and I said this to a friend earlier today. You see, with Judge Judy, I've never seen a time when she's got it wrong. Never ever have I seen that woman get it wrong, because not only will she put you in a place in a sense of from a legal perspective, but she's almost got that sort of ability. She's got that moral sort of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, okay, you're getting married to this man, You made this man think you're getting engaged to him, but then you're busting out and you're taking his ring. You want to take it. You're wrong for doing it. You're wrong for doing it. What do you think you're doing? Give the man his ring back. Give the man his ring back. And that's years and years and years this woman's been on TV for man was growing up. And I don't know, like, there's something maybe about me either being a Capricorn possibly, or me just like basically being the person who I am. When you see stuff like that, it resonates with you. And as a human being growing up and maturing, I've really got this strong thing about things that are right and things that are wrong. You hear what I'm saying? So to answer your question, like,
the strongest trait?
Yeah, one of my strongest traits are like just automatically feeling like I know the difference between things that are right and things that are wrong in it. And if I'm a victim because of something that's of wrongdoing, I will just go into Judge Judy mode. You hear what I'm trying to say? I will pick it apart. I will pick it apart. You hear what I'm trying to say? I'm talking the A to the P to the A to the R to the T apart. Yeah, and this is not how the universe can't even rest until it's right. You hear what I'm trying to say? And if I'm the person who's kind of done something that right, it's on my conscience. It's on my conscience because I know if I'm treating other people like that and I'm analyzing a separate situation like that, I have to use that very same measurement for my own self, for my own self. Otherwise it's not just. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise it's imbalanced. You hear what I'm trying to say? And you can't be that. I don't really like being a hypocrite in any kind of sense. So for that reason, like, I'm very conscious of my own actions. If I do something that ain't the best thing for me to do and the easiest thing for me to do is put my hands up and say, you know what, my bad, let's start over again. Let me make it right. You hear what I'm trying to say?
So what would you say it is then?
It's that feeling of having
being able to analyze like morality.
It's morality. Yeah, it's morality, and it's kind of like being able to feel at ease with your own conscience. You hear what I'm trying to say? Not many people can do that. I'm telling you now. Certain people that go to bed at night, they know certain things that they've done, even if they don't speak it out, and they know for a fact that, you know what, flipping those things are not exactly the best, and perhaps they're in a position where they might need to change certain things. But there's no better feeling, I'm telling you now, there's no better feeling than being at peace with yourself, because you know that wagwan,
you're in connection with your body,
you're in connection with your mind, body, soul. And if anyone even dreams dare try to ask questions or put it in your directions, you have got answers for them, and you can stand you know wagwan, and you can stand convicted with your answers as well. You hear what I'm trying to say? With conviction. You hear what I'm trying to say? So
you know who you are.
You know who you are. You hear what I'm saying? And for that should give you an element of like kind of like inner strength and belief and like kind of like a purpose for being who you are in those type of situations. In other words, no one can come and like talk nonsense in your direction. It's not possible. You've done your own mathematics, you've done your own research, you've looked into your own self, you know what time it is, you know what's going on. Do you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Of course. So let me ask you, what's your weakest trait? I was saying that. Would you say?
I'm almost tempted to say sweetness is my weakness, you know, because
as in kindness weakness, that kind of approach, or
nah, not even. Sweetness. Do you know? Sometimes there's been times I call myself the battering ram. You know why? I explain to you. The battering ram, which means
scapegoat.
You'll take stuff that you're not necessarily supposed to take, so other people can feel sweet. You hear what I'm trying to say? And you'll accept certain things because if you went on militant and represented your own
with yourself though. Yeah,
but you know what? It's almost like, you know what? I've done the maths about this situation. I realised there's some people, they can't live with the L. They can't live with feeling broken. They can't live with feeling taking that L and losing out. And other people who are stronger characters can. Do you see what I'm trying to say? You hear what I'm saying? They can take more
strong
weight
on strong soldiers.
You hear what I'm trying to say? And some people can hold that additional weight on their shoulders, even though it's not the nicest thing to have. They can hold it. You hear what other people now? They're not strong enough to do that. Therefore, you know what? Let that person win. Let that person win even if they didn't deserve to win. You hear what I'm trying to say? Let that person come out on top even if they don't deserve to come out on top. Why? Because if they lose, they're going to be finished. If they lose, they're crumbled. You hear what I'm trying to say? That is for real, definitely. You know?
It's mad how you look at it like that.
You have to, because I've seen people crumble in front of me. I've seen people when they're on their last legs. I've seen people when they're not in the best place, especially mentally or spiritually, or you know, in where they are in their life. And it's not a nice feeling to see people like that. I don't like the idea of people being kicked when they're already down. When you see people in that position, you want to try and help them, support them, make it better. Do you see what I'm saying? And even if it means that you now have to flip in, almost make some form of a sacrifice where you are on the receiving end of something that you don't even really deserve to be on the end of, you know what, so be it. Because at least that way, flipping the other person who was on absolute verge can now see a little piece of light at the end of the flipping tunnel.
Yeah, whereas you got the heavy enough shoulders to bear it. You understand what I'm saying? So, who's the funniest person you know? Who's the funniest person you've met or know?
God's sake, that's a hard.
Nice one, isn't it?
That ain't easy work, you know. You're a funny guy. I'm not gonna. I'll give you that.
I'll give you that. You're the funniest one.
You're
till I am. When I'm the funniest,
you're a funny guy.
You crown me, baby. I need a fucking Burger King crown. When I'm the funny, so you know what, Key? It's like, Key, you're alright, man. Like my missus said to me, I pitched this sort of thing on my missus, isn't it? Pitched a few ideas to her. I said, so who's the funniest person you know? She goes, it's between you or my brother. I said, you know what? I'll use your brother, man. So I'm cool with that. It might be you. I just have to do that. But
can I? Does it have to be someone you know? Can it be a celebrity?
It can be whoever. You ask the question however you feel.
Can I tell you this? Yeah, when I first watched Cat Williams, when he done his pimp, when I watched that guy, my belly nearly exploded for the first ever time. You see what I'm trying to say?
Stand-up comedy or
the stand-up comedy, the stand-up comedy.
The weed one.
The one we used to talk about. We used to talk about the American
government.
Strong, it's too strong. Like, what's that called? Crypto kind of light or something like that.
Cat Williams is legendary.
Listen, in his prime when he first came out, he had the green suit on, this, that, and the other in his stand-up. The pimp suit. It's like pimping ain't easy. It's like pimp down. You know what I mean? I done got blood in my palm. You know.
Cat Williams is the man still.
It's like, Jesus, pimp down. Pimp down.
Pimp down.
Oh my God. But do you know
why?
Yeah.
Get here. And then Terry Crews grabs his nuts and the ratchet.
Oh God. And the thing is, he mixed up his comedy with realness as well, and morality, and trying to get people to be on the right path in life as well. You know what I'm trying to say? I remember this line that you need to tune into your star player. In other words, find the best version of you.
There you go.
You know what I'm trying to say? Tune in. And he was like, listen, it ain't no joke. You have to be doing these things now. You know what I'm saying?
Times now.
Yeah, for real. That sort of mentality. So he mixed it up, but I have to say, when I first came across this guy, my sides was hurting, innit? My sides was hurting. When you hear what I'm trying to say? He was on the first people. Obviously Kevin Hart done his thing.
Anyone you know personally? Like anyone that have to be, hey, I'm a funny guy, but someone that you think, this guy's funny, man. Or do you know what I mean? Sometimes I'm around people and I think some people make me laugh and I go, bro, you're still a joker.
Do you know what? I'll tell you, there's one guy, and you mostly know this. Darnell.
Darnell.
Some of the conversations we have, it's a slanging cussing match, for the best part. And some of the things he will come out with, sometimes he gets me. He gets me. But there's other times I get him back too. You hear what I'm trying to say? And there's times he can't say nothing for a while. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say? He does make me laugh at some of the things he comes out with. You know what I'm trying to say? Like flipping You African Wombat, all them sort of.
He loves it.
He's got lines for days. You know what I'm trying to say? Do you know what I'm saying? So man, shout out to Darnell. Do you know what I'm saying?
Tell me a misconception about yourself. People perceive. Tell me a misconception that people think about you.
Do you know, because it's the way how I am naturally, and as a person, the way I like to enjoy myself, live my life, be out there. Like, I'm trying to kind of like not be an airhead and like educate myself. I want to enjoy my life. I want to try and do things from a business perspective. I think it's easy for people to kind of like, let's be real in it. Sometimes there's people out there who don't really like to see people who are in a good place or who are happy. They kind of almost have the misconception, in my view, that this guy either thinks he's either too nice or he has it all going for him.
Interesting.
And I know from my own life, I've still got struggles and battles I need to fight. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But from the outside, when people don't know me, you can almost sense sometimes that even with people who do know me, sometimes, let's be real in it, like, not everyone out there is for you in life. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you can be trying your best to be a decent person in life, and instead of actually it producing the feelings of encouragement and support, there's people who give birth to feelings of hate, spite, envy, jealousy. You hear what I'm trying to say? So,
people like that.
Yeah, and because I'm trying to live a life where I feel comfortable with myself, by me doing that, a byproduct is people might look at that and basically be like, look at this guy. Who does he think he is?
That's their how they perceive.
That's how they perceive
their misconception of you.
Yeah, precisely. Right. Yeah, precisely. Okay. Precisely. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And one thing I said to myself is, listen, like, I remember I've had conversations with my friends as well, saying that it was the conversation, right, was along the lines of sometimes you can't really just be too happy in front of people all the time and share that with the world, because some people aren't in a happy place themselves.
Maybe we lost company, bro.
Yeah, and it can.
I need you to be miserable.
Yeah. And you know what? I thought about that and I respected it, but do you know one thing I refuse to do? I refuse to basically taint myself. I refuse. I refuse to do it.
I generally think you're a happy person.
Yeah.
Whether you have your moments where we don't, or I don't know about in general. I don't. If someone had a bad word to say about you, I'd probably say you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
If someone said Dezzy acted a certain way, I could say you're wrong. I don't think Dezzy would do that.
Yeah.
So that's a very good trait to have as well. Man.
Yeah, no. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say that takes. I think that comes with maturity and an element of being conscious of your actions. You see what I'm trying to say? And deliberately saying to yourself, I'm trying to be a decent human being in this world, innit? There's enough riffraff. Of course. There's enough riffraff and nonsense out there as it is. Why am I going to flipping add to it? Why am I contributing to it for? And you know what? I don't care if it comes across like you can be in the minority. My argument will always be this. For every one person out of 100 people who does something that's decent and right, at least you represented, for crying out loud. So when people look at those 100 people, be like, is there anyone out there that can show me what it means to basically be a decent, uplifted, beautiful, lovely person? They can say, you know what? Yes, there's this man here. You hear what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Those other 99 might be doing all the things that just are completely unsavory, and almost if you were only judging it on those 99 people, you'd walk away feeling depressed. You hear what I'm trying to say?
That's their opinion.
That's their opinion.
Exactly.
So my argument is, you have to be a representation of the things that you believe in, the things that put a smile on your own face, the things that flipping make other people. You have to I don't care if you're the only one in 1,000. Represent. Represent. Stand up and represent. You hear what I'm saying? Represent that. This is that straightforward. And you know, you will have people that don't like you. You will have people that aren't for you. You will have people that might be envious and spiteful and jealous of what you're doing. That does not matter. You still go out there and represent. Because you see what? I've got a good friend of mine, and we have these conversations like, you know, we're not even from this planet. And when we go back to our own planet, flipping things get done differently where we come from. You hear what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And I've always joked around, saying that, listen, when I go back to my people now, when they ask me the question, did you represent on planet Earth? Yeah. Did you represent?
What are you going to say?
My answer has to be yes.
It's
not allowed to be no, I didn't. It's not allowed. It is not allowed. You understand what I'm trying? That's the mindset. That's the mentality.
So you're basically making sure
of it. You hear what I'm saying? That is the mentality. And a lot of people don't really know, like, all right, they might see a nice person and a person that does things, but sometimes they don't necessarily know the mindset of how you actually get to be in that person. You hear what I'm trying to say? You have to
trials and tribulations.
Yeah, the trials and tribulations. You have to go through a lot of things. You have to get things wrong a lot of the time
to be that person.
You hear what I'm trying to say? You have to shred a lot of people out of your life to be that person, and you have to basically make new friends and new bonds and new connections to be that person. You hear what I'm saying? It's a whole massive process. It's a whole massive process. I remember David Platt, an old school footballer, used to say, when I was younger, he used to say, I can count the amount of good friends I have on one hand. Now, as a 16, 17, 18-year-old boy,
you thought, oh God, I only got 2 hands. I've got 20 friends.
I'm thinking, how is that even possible? How are you doing that? You must be mad. Are you high? What's going on here?
Facts.
It's only when you get to older age and a mature age, you realise it makes sense what he's talking about. It makes sense. It makes sense. Trust me.
What's the worst job you've had?
Working at Autoglass. Oh my God, that was hell.
Really?
Straight hell.
Go on.
You know why?
What did you do? Just on the phones or?
Yeah, because they had this system where they can dictate the speed of when your calls would come through.
Right.
And I would be speaking constantly from 9 o'clock in the morning till 5 in the evening,
yeah.
and each call was the best part of 7 to 8 minutes.
Do a lot of people go through this?
Yes, unless look, there were times maybe it weren't so busy and it wasn't that bad.
Right.
But you see, when it comes to winter time,
you're talking,
and those little cracks in the little chips in the windscreen, develops into a crack. Yes. You got obviously, you got Mandy who's flipping. She's worried. She's got the kids in the back. Her chips hit the windscreen and now it's cracked. She's concerned. She's panicking. You had lots of people, those sort of phone calls, taking those sort of phone calls, and you're having to calm people down. I didn't mind the
whole process.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't mind, the whole human being side of it, of actually trying to make people feel fine and cool and sweet. Listen, don't worry, it's fine. Okay. The windscreen is designed in a kind of way where it's not going to smash. Mm-hmm. Do not panic. It's fine. Just answer these questions and we'll get you some support, A, B, C, and D. Mm-hmm. Didn't mind that side of it. I didn't mind the people who I worked with within the call center. Yeah. But I knew as well, by me living my life like that, there was a strong part of me that I was like, you know what, there's you're malnourishing your human spirit. You're so much of you that's not even being utilized right now, and you're so much. There's in the sense of you're so much more than doing this alone. Yeah. And there was a word that I didn't even know about that I learned when I was young. It's called monotonous, in the sense of it's repetitive and it's the very same old thing again and again and again. When you do that, you don't actually grow. It nullifies you. Oh my god! How can you evolve?
You can't.
You
can't.
You're
stuck in someone else's structure, which a lot of people are. Which I don't blame, because some people are made to be a sheep sort of human being.
Yes.
I just happen to be a leader, so it never worked for me. But at the same time, it's a stepping stone.
Yes.
And you don't know what it's like until you try it.
Definitely.
Some people you can't have that mentality if you haven't tried it, correct?
Of course.
You've done it.
Of course.
Hey, I don't like it. Why? Because I've done it.
Yeah.
Not, hey, I don't like it. I don't want that job. Why?
Yeah.
Because that's not true.
Yeah.
You never know what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah. And there were the times I remember coming home from Autoglass, sitting in my room, speaking to one or two of my brethren, thinking, oh my god, this place is not for me, and I've got to go back there the following day. I've got to go back there tomorrow. Do you know what I'm saying?
Continue.
Monotonous. Yeah, monotonous. And
over the word bank.
Yes, overly just repetitive, same old thing. You're not growing, you're not evolving, you're not. And especially at that point in my life, I knew that I could play football, I could play tennis, I could
all these other fucking talents you have.
Yeah, you hear what I'm trying to say? I know that I have.
You've been told, I know I'm like this.
Exactly.
What's cooking one of them?
At that point in time, I don't really think I was overly cooking like that. At that age, no.
So
I was in my early 20s in those days there.
It tastes good from people.
Other people saying it to me, innit? Other people saying it.
What's your favourite dish to cook?
Oh, boy. What do I like the most, man?
Not what you like the most.
What do I like cooking?
What you like might not be your favourite dish to cook.
Yeah.
Correct?
Do you know what?
I assume you like cooking for people a lot.
I do.
So what's your favourite dish to cook for people? As in, you love prepping it. You love going to buy the ingredients. You know it's going to take a little time.
Do you know what? I do not do the escovitch fried fish.
Okay, why is that?
Because
escovitch fried fish.
Yes, because
I'm definitely asking you for that next time.
Yes. Because that's the fish.
50.
Yeah.
Go on.
Because that fish there, I even had a message through my Snapchat earlier today from a girl. In fact, Avi. Him and his family ordered some food, and they ordered some of the fried fish.
Interesting.
Let's give it fried fish. And I got a message of, I think it's his partner, saying that fish was delicious.
Okay.
What was the recipe?
Recipe. The Drake Soulja Boy in that recipe.
Oh my god,
recipe. KFC don't give the recipe.
Even me being a nice guy, I found a way to have to try and say to people, listen, like, I can't tell you everything what I do, because but I can tell you, if you
was cooked for 20 minutes.
You know, I'm trying to say,
it's cooked in my oven.
If you add a little flipping onion, a little garlic, you're heading in the right direction. You know what I'm trying to say? Well, listen, I can't tell people too much. You hear what I'm trying to say? Because the same way the Colonel would not reveal Wagwan for his fried chicken.
But on the internet, you see it.
Well, yeah, you do see certain things on there.
Have you tried to cook KFC chicken?
I haven't tried.
I'm going to say exact it.
Yeah, but I've got my own kind of thing with fried chicken going on at the moment. Yeah, and I'm happy with it, and I've had good feedback from it, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so
your favourite dish to cook is
because of the process of doing it. Do you know why? Because not only escovitch. I think the escovitch part is literally the peppers that go on top, so it's like a vinaigrette. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
And that's what makes it, because okay, frying a piece of fish is one thing, right? That's the fish. But then with the peppers, you have the peppers, the garlic, and the onion that you make separately. Now that creates a separate kind of sauce and a separate kind of flavor. When you place it on top of the fish, that's one thing. But when you put that on that sauce on top of the rice, it's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful.
With fish with bones.
It's boneless that I use. I use boneless fish because I know about this situation.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed fish, but the bones down the back of the throat.
Yeah,
it's a nightmare.
And of course, because certain people they're looking to say they're not exactly.
I'm greedy, this is what I'm trying to say.
They're not checking for bones.
I hate when I got a plate of curry girl and I got the one fish. Now I got to block it down proper, you know. Hand stink of fish. I think fish tastes good, but now stink of fish.
Oh God, you're one of them.
I swear to God, man. Tell me a song that you like that people wouldn't know you listen to. A song, just a song that people wouldn't know you listen to. That so flipping out.
Cook's Naive.
Which is who? Do I know them?
Yeah, they're called the Kooks. That's what they're called. The
Kooks.
Yeah, the Kooks. It's like an indie band, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I think the bars like I know, she knows, I'm not fond of asking.
Okay.
True or false, it might be, she's still out to get me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just got a different kind of vibe. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Technically, a black man that cooks curry goat should not be listening to that sort of tune, innit? But I've known it from years and years and years ago, and he's talking about the fact that there's a girl who he loves the bits and pieces, but she's not down for him 110. He's singing from his heart. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm
trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely, man. Flipping. And yeah, man, with them indie guys, some of them, they got their vocals on point as well, you know what I'm saying? So when I want to mix up the ball game, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm not even going to lie to you, fam. I'm a Trinity technical. I love my soul and calypso, yeah. But there's
if we're done, jump.
All of that. You know what time it is. All of that. Listen, that's another reason why I'm a happy guy, because soca music, you cannot be vexed when this. You hear what I'm trying to say? Music's such a powerful thing.
So true.
And in my view, when you see what's happening with somebody.
Do you have soca in the car or not?
Of course.
You're
of course.
Sicko.
Of course, man. Of course, man. Of course. Listen. But you know what? Even with bashment music, flipping, I've realised there's something about bashment, I'm not even a yardie, but there's something about their kind of bravado, there's this tune, I forgot his name, but basically the chorus is like yeah.
Getting gassed already.
When I hear that,
start slapping the furnace. Stop banging on the damn furnace.
Only that Gucci belt, then the shoes must match. You know what I mean?
The swag is
everything, but. Even me, I'm not even a materialistic person, but when I hear that tune, I feel like, you know what? You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm buying that
shit. You hear what I'm trying to say? I feel like I want money in the bank account. You know what I'm trying to say when you hear them kind of tunes? You know what I'm trying to say? All that there, and it's that sort of bravado of check me out. I'm the freshest guy. I'm the man. You know, I'm Mr. Yardie. It's the accent. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And it's just like the whole kind of the chorus of like yeah. Trust me, boy. So yeah, man, like music's a powerful.
You got
thing.
soca in the car?
Yes, it has to be, because
soca.
Of course, she was the one who raised me the thing. Man. She's a Trini. You know what I mean?
I can't indulge so much in it.
Yeah.
In the car, we going mad.
Yeah, man, flipping them guys there, like they're a happy kind of people over there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of jump up. Yeah, definitely, man. And I think maybe when we're surrounded by things that aren't always the best.
There before?
Yeah. 2015, I was there for Carnival.
That's recent.
Yeah.
Good man. So you know back a route proper.
Yeah, for real, man. That's that season there, man. That's culture and that's
Try the
vibes.
Food over there, obviously.
Listen, them people over there can cook, fam. I'm telling you.
Papa.
Listen, listen to me, yeah. I tasted food at a friend of the family's house, and I am telling you, fam, right? I said to myself, you know what? If I was to have a team in England, I need 10 people just like you
to come over
and
cook up
and basically I'll feel satisfied that the levels are high
enough. Yeah,
you hear what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
because it's real food, it's cooked, like it's locally sourced as well, because you're in a tropical environment.
My dad was telling me about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, for real.
Locally sourced,
man, you hear what I'm saying? And it's done just like they don't live in our country. We have a fast food mentality, so it's Indian and it's like
they've only got one KFC in St Vincent. When my dad was saying,
so
to people that trying to go KFC like that,
because their circumstances and surroundings, you're kind of forced to cook food. You understand what I'm saying?
It's good though.
Of course, it's good. Listen, I strongly believe the way how For example, you see how certain spices don't really necessarily grow in every single country. And I think, look, my argument is this. It's almost like the universe knew what time it was. So it's like, you know what, we're going to give you fish in the sea. Then we're going to give you your chickens and your flipping goat running around on the land. Then we're going to give you your flipping herbs. And we're going to give you your herbs and your spices growing naturally. And we're going to give you your fruit.
And it all makes a meal.
And when you put it all together, it's almost like saying, we're not going to do everything for you.
We're going to give you
we'll give you all the ingredients.
Take you to the water, but I'm not going to...
Yeah, exactly. I will take you to the water, but you are the one that have to drink. You know what I'm trying to say? I will show you where the frame of the door is, but you have to walk through. You know what I'm trying to say? And there's bare people in Trinidad that know that they can flip and pick a mango off the tree. They know they can flip and go and pick a piece of flipping coriander from the ground. Go catch a fish. And that gives them, it occupies their time. You know what I'm trying to say? And by the time you bring it together, what you have is a tasty piece of food. And you appreciate it because it's real from the beginning. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. And me, that's one of the reasons I do what I do over here as well, because it's a kind of a representation of that beautiful side of life, of the culture of food is a glorious thing. It's a spiritual thing as well.
Glorious.
Definitely. And it's medicinal. I've had people say to me, look,
a good soup will fix your cold.
Oh my God. My cousin was hospital. We had some of the fried chickens that, you know what, I felt like I come back to life.
Yeah.
Why? Because all the herbs and spices that go into it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, definitely. I had a woman say to me, listen, after the jerk chicken, like from the spices, it brought me into labor. And from that, flipping, I had my child. You know what I'm trying to say?
My child into chicken.
Listen, this is real stories. So food has medicinal purposes.
As well.
But how can you experience that if you're stuck eating a Mackie D's 7 days a week?
Exactly.
You can't. You hear what I'm saying? You just can't.
What would you say the best bit of advice you've been given? Big question.
It's a massive question.
Generalize it. For a hot take. Don't think too deep into it, because your brain rattles. Just hot take it.
I think it's along the lines of, flipping, in order to move forward in life, you have to basically invest in your own self in all areas, innit? You have to, because my argument is that you can't be an asset and you can't be of any value to anyone else if you want to lacking in the first place. You hear what I'm trying to say? You can't go out there on a football pitch and try and basically be a team player if you want to only 20 or 30% fit. You hear what I'm trying to say? You have to be 110 to basically be of any form of value to the bigger picture. You have to be. So I think my answer to that question is to basically make sure you work on yourself, to make sure you're a finished article, so you can be of some sort of use to those people that you're surrounded by.
I definitely think you're doing that for your job. Like I say the same as like a barber. If anything you're doing for your job that you anything you're doing for your career that you're making other people feel happy or they're leaving you happy, is beneficial. You cook a dish, I eat the dish, I'm full, thank you. I go to the barber to get my hair cut, thank you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Them kind of jobs always benefit
definitely.
You and you know,
of course.
The way when someone eats your food in front. And their fingers and say, brother, and you look at them thinking, I just made this.
Of course.
So definitely. What you're doing is definitely the direction of righteousness anyway. Whether you become the richest or the whatever, it's the righteousness from behind it that people say, thank you, you fed me. You can't go wrong. All we need in this life is food and water, correct?
Of course.
That's how I look at that.
It's about, there's a notion of the language uses to do good works in it, and the term works can be anything. It could be certain man flipping elements and buttons on a thing.
A plumber,
anything works. But if it's benefiting somebody else's life, and if it's something that the individual who's benefiting from it is unable to do themselves, automatically that has some sense of value and appreciation. You hear what I'm trying to say?
Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
If you're supplying these foods and you're cooking these foods, you don't got to do it. I choose to do it, but thank you for your people love it, man. People love it.
Definitely.
Like I watched the podcast. I heard what mate you said, the shed talk. I heard what you said about your food. I heard it.
Yeah,
man. I met Dezzy said about the customer. I've watched that and I was so happy to see that.
You know, there's one that we did one about Childish Gambino, and that was very interesting to talk about that. Because it was regarding the video that he brought out. This is America.
Okay,
I know I love speaking about that when it first came out, because there were so many messages he was trying to convey
I know,
and they're all relevant to what.
Slow down,
definitely, and everything he was trying to say.
TV series.
I don't watch it. I've heard of it. Yeah. I will have to try.
It's a great actor.
Yeah. And with that video, he was using his platform to basically highlight the fact that yes, America has the potential to be a fantastic, great country, but the things that you're doing and the way how you're treating your people and the way how you are allowing certain things to slide, you are basically ruining your own character.
Detrimental to the own country.
You're detrimental to your own country. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I'm saying? And the people of America, they're friendly, happy. Oh my God! Oh yeah, you want some food?
But some people live oblivious, I guss.
They do. But my argument is that you have all the tools to make the place fantastic.
America is a fantastic place, though. It's the land of dreams. You go there, and you could. It's just that.
Listen, with his video specifically, he was basically saying, stop treating guns like they have more importance than human life.
Okay.
Because in the imagery within the video, when he basically pulls out a gun and basically takes someone's life in an execution type style, the gun gets taken away all nice and softly in a piece of like cloth, like it's got real feeling, and the body that gets shot gets dragged away. You see what I'm trying? So it's a piece of. I made a status when I saw that video, and I said that this is not only just a piece of music; it's visual art. It's art, because with art, the answers aren't always given to you. You have to work. You have to seek it. You have to work it out for yourself.
Read between the lines.
You read between the lines. And he done a fantastic job of doing that. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And also he you know, you had the almost, I call it gospedelic kind of angelic kind of like soul with the sort of chorus, which is like, oh yeah, which is a representation of the culture of, you know, Black American churches, this, that, and the other. But then when the scenes and the imagery, America, do you know what I'm trying to say? And it turns all ugly and provocative, and definitely. And he managed to turn the ugly scenes and coincide it with the bassy, meaty side of the tune as well. And say, right, you know, now it's going to get gritty again. Do you know what I mean?
You use food for your analogy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he was very clever when he put that together. But he had a massive message that he wanted to try and say to people. And you know what? As a black man, I'm sure there was a strong part of him that felt, you know what, that people shouldn't be so casually flipping having their lives taken away. You understand what I'm saying? And people just putting it to one side like it's nothing. He was mostly vexed about all of that. He said, you know what, I'm not going to basically get up on a platform and be an angry black man. I will speak out about it. And he done it fantastic. Especially, you know why? He incorporated the cultural
process and talk. People talk about it.
Definitely. But he even showed, like, even with the, you know, there's one argument that was said that because he uses like a variety of different African dance moves in his choreography. And as you all know, people, when you go in the club, there's people dropping all kinds of moves like these days. You know what I'm saying? Dabbing or whatever.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. And what he done, in my view, and what was also argued, is that he tried to emphasize that sometimes there's people out there who care more about the dance moves as opposed to all the gritty, horrible stuff that's happening in the background. That was one side. But on the other side of the coin, he was showcasing the beauty and of culture, of rhythm and choreography, and you know what I'm saying? There's one we've called.
The video's got a lot.
Oh God!
Into it.
Yeah, definitely.
I know exactly what you're
you
saying.
see what I'm trying to say? Because when I look at some of them moves, I want to drop some of them moves myself.
You look at it.
Yeah,
so
exactly. There's so much going on. So someone's like, are you going to look at this side?
Yeah, or that.
Or are you looking at that? So people said, you know what, you have to watch this video like 10 times over. You got what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what it's exactly. So for that reason, I said, well, this is a piece of art. This ain't just a piece of music. This is a piece of art. It's art.
Go down the history.
Definitely. I think after like maybe the second week, my guy had like the best part of like 750 million views on YouTube.
These views are going to do lally.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's so he deserves it.
He course, he put a massive effort into that, into producing that. You know what I'm saying? He was highlighting racism in America, which unfortunately.
But you need to watch Atlanta, though. Seriously,
it's
so good. Do you watch a lot of series?
I don't have the time to. Do you know? I watched a series called The Gifted.
Can I advise you?
Go on.
Watch some series. You know why?
Go on.
It will give your mind the chance to breathe from everything you're doing, Dezzy.
Yeah.
You still need a break. You need to slow down sometimes. Take a Sunday out. You're not cooking anything for no one. Maybe apart from yourself. Just indulge in your brain in a whole other activity. And I find some series do that. Yeah. It's like it takes you out of your. It's like a whole other world quick, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's good. I think. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I never got into
Dezzy,
that.
man.
A lot of people did, and I never got into it.
Don't have to get into it.
Do you know
Just
what?
Take your time, and when you got time, watch it.
One series, the last series I got into massively when I was younger was The Wire.
See,
yeah,
I completed that. Like
I know, but you know, I used to look forward to that. Even the theme tune,
Yeah,
when you walk through the garden, dun, 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 better watch your back. Dun. I used to sing along to it. Trust me, I used to love it.
Yeah,
trust me, man. I used to love it. It was that was my thing way back in it. Not even listen. Do you know why?
Watch something, Dezzy.
Do you know I watched is it Luke? Not was it Luke Cage?
I
know.
Luke Cage is good, but don't choose that as your gateway.
I know.
That's like an extra.
I know. There's things of quality out there that I need to basically tune into. I know that. I do know that, innit?
Let me So I'm gonna fire some last questions at you. Not questions, just quick rapid fire.
Go on.
You answer it.
Go on.
However you feel, however you please.
Yes.
Coke or Pepsi?
Neither, because I seen a certain man using them for rust remover to take the flipping rust off man's bumper and that, and I said to myself, this stuff cannot be drank. It's not fit for human consumption.
Say
rust remover.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I go with
when you're burping after that gulp of that stuff, when you take a gulp of that stuff, you just what? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know something ain't right. Trust me.
So would I be wrong in asking you?
OJ, fresh OJ, innit?
Yeah.
Listen.
I got you with the OJ.
OJ, you got me.
So what would I be wrong in saying Fanta or Tango?
There's certain syrups and that I started tasting in the back of my throat.
Yeah.
That stuff gets made with.
That's facts, though.
And it's like, you know what? I can't drink it anymore.
So neither. Hot or cold?
Depends what it is, boy. Flipping hell, boy. You know.
Take it how you want it. Hot or cold?
Hot. We'll go hot, innit? We'll go hot.
I'm wrong again. I ask you Sprite or 7-Up.
I've never been that deep into either of them. I'm not a lemonade kind of guy. I'm not a lemon. Do you know what? Cloudy lemonade though. At least that had a piece of flavour to it.
But you like Iron Brew as well, innit?
Used to back in the day. Used to back in the day.
Oh shit. Skips or Watsits?
Boy, you know, I love the way how them skips just disappear in man's mouth. I'm not even gonna lie. You know, I'm trying to say, yeah, I have to go with the skips because Watsits now, you got all the flipping, okay, there's cheese, this and but then you're left with flipping an orange flipping index finger.
Skips the prawn cocktail, innit?
Yeah. And you're not really left with too much flipping residue in your finger.
You like it clean, yeah?
Yeah. And
tongue and gone.
You know, it's just gone. You know what I mean?
Mario or Sonic?
Has to be Super Mario, fam.
Yeah, I'm a Sonic guy still.
Has to be Super Mario. Original. I rep a lot of my old school like vintage Mario stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Nintendo or Sega?
Nintendo.
Really?
Again, because that's what man's childhood was on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Spyro or Crash Bandicoot?
Has to be Crash.
Crash, yeah.
Has to be Crash.
McDonald's or Burger King?
Nah, you're trying to do.
Have to.
In my younger days, it would have been just standardly like Mackie D's until I went off it. But one thing I would say is that I prefer the fries from Burger King.
Okay.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they've just got more to it going on, and I do like the double. Look, in my time back in the day, school days, like the double cheeseburger from Mackie D's, that was just standard procedure. You know what I'm saying?
It used to be £1.19.
1.19 or something. I swear at one point they were going for 99p.
That's like $4,000.
You got to remortgage the house to buy one.
Real talk, boy. What cheeseburger you better sell your car?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but then the kind of double cheese from Burger King as well with the bacon double cheese.
Yeah, expensive again.
Expensive, but the sort of flame grilled effect
does the job.
You know what I mean? Like,
and you're a chef man as well.
And that was. But I went to McDonald's I had a Burger King maybe about 2 years ago, and I felt like something's changed about the quality of the meat.
Of course, does.
And for that reason, I just don't do neither of them. I don't do Mackie D's, or if I go to Mackie D's, it's to get a flipping
fish fillet.
Not even that, flipping an apple pie.
Oh my god!
An apple pie. I don't eat nothing else from there.
Yeah, that's good though.
I don't eat nothing else from there. I tried to eat some chicken nuggets, right?
That's shit though.
It's not even chicken.
Of course not. We know it's cardboard.
You know what I'm saying? So
see how they're made.
I don't even want to see. Same way how you don't. Same way you don't even want to see no MJ like.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. It's like that. It's like that. And it's like that.
Brown or white?
Basically, obviously, if you talk about your teeth have to be white. They can't be brown.
Listen, after the question that you take out, you want to take it, my G.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? But boy, flipping, it depends what we're dealing with here. Cause boy, you know what I'm saying?
You liquor, women, fucking hell, wherever the fuck you want to put it.
Nah, I'm very much humanitarian. I'm gonna use Dave Chappelle's bars in it. When it comes to girls, I'm a humanitarian in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't discriminate. I don't discriminate in it. You know, I do not discriminate because there's beauty in all races and colours. You hear what I'm saying? I've seen it. All you have to do is scroll down your flipping Instagram page or your page. You know, I just.
Well, my garden did the same thing. I'm like, we got to scroll down. Bitch, you better scroll up. Don't scroll down. Fucking hell.
Yeah, man. But I'll tell you one thing, yeah? When you're cooking, golden brown is the accepted colour of when something is looking its best and when something's ready. When the mac pie is golden brown, you take it out.
Perfect.
You hear what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
When the fritters are golden brown,
take it out.
When
they're white, leave it in.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. If it's too pale, if it's looking anemic, if your chicken's looking anemic,
forget it.
It can't work. It cannot work. Shit. It cannot work.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I love for that, Dezzy, man.
Of course.
I can't wait
every
to
time.
To this shit back
every time there's jokes and you know what I'm saying? There's love.
Make the chopper up and that.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I'm happy you came, bro.
Love for inviting me. Love for inviting me. Let's do that again. It's like let's make some. You know what I'm saying?
It's love, man. Got a lot of love for Dezzy, man. But I definitely look forward to doing this shit again.
Yeah, of course. Of course. I know when the next podcast comes up with these guys at the shed, I'm gonna speak of you because you have got substance. And you'll be at you.
I want ins. If there's a damn minute sold at the shed, I want ins. I want 25%. Yeah. I want ins, man. I think it's dope.
Yeah.
I love it. More people need to do podcasts.
Yeah.
You should do one as well.
Yeah.
Even if it's a 10-minute breakdown of you cooking some food, and you buy a camera and get someone to direct, just any way necessary we can get out there, we need to do.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to you for a friend first and foremost. But anything I can do,
of course,
which I will try this from now on. I'm definitely promoting more.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to be eating more from you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
More, don't worry. I've got my freebie now. You didn't give me a cheese sandwich. You got your orange juice there.
Oh boy, you know what I mean. I'll come through with a lamb soup as well. You know what I'm saying. You would call the cob. You know what I'm saying.
I hate when you weren't looking.
Sneaky boy.
What's it? The pumpkin.
It's sweet potato in there. Sweet potato. You know what I mean? Because you know what? I didn't have. The balance between sweet and spicy always works, and I didn't have no plantain which would have normally give it that sweetness. So I said, you know what? I'm going to use a sweet potato instead. And literally, you know what? The one thing I love about soup is that it's a one pot thing. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah.
I'm funny. I don't know how to cook it.
So, well, basically, you just boil it. Basically, there's two. The best part of maybe like 15. Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, my nan showed me techniques that she would mostly learn in Carriacou. Even though my mum's from Trinidad, my nan was born in Carriacou, a small island next to Grenada. And there were certain techniques that I haven't even seen before that my nan used to drop. And with those root vegetables, or what they call provision, so things like cassava, yam, dashing, green banana. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah, all them things there. Yes. I see my nan do a thing where she would put those vegetables in the pot whole with the skin on.
Interesting.
Right? And then when the time is ready now, when it's cooked, you start to see the skin peeling away from it. Because technically, if you try to peel, for example, a piece of cassava or yam without boiling it first, it's tough. It's hard.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you got to put, it's like going to the gym.
Yes.
You put that to boil now first, and you take a night to it. It comes off like butter.
Okay.
You hear what I'm trying to say?
What you're saying, boil it first.
You can boil it in the skin. Best part of 15 minutes, most probably. And then it just comes. Or you can do the thing where you peel it, and if you're, I'm not gonna boost my own sort of vibe here, but if you
blow the trumpet,
if you can get your timing right, you can peel it right. And then basically, whilst your lamb is cooking, for example, if you're making lamb soup, you can put it in at the right time. So it catches. And basically, by the time your lamb is effectively cooked, you know that you can put your vegetables in without having to boil them separately, in the one pot, and things are going to be set.
So if you time it right where you can peel the skin off, you can rest it until you have to put it in the lamb where it all comes together.
You can, but you don't even have to. You don't even have to boil it separately by itself. You just peel it as the vegetable. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Before? When it's hard.
Yeah, when it's hard. When it's hard.
It's long then, like at gym, like you said.
Yeah, but it's not. it's not the worst of gym sessions. You understand what I'm trying to say? It's still gym sessions. It depends how lazy you want to be. You know what I'm trying to say? Okay. But my argument is that way, what you're getting, if you do it separately, what you're losing is the whole flavour of the root vegetables coming together with the lamb working together in one pot. Because you've kind of boiled it separately. You understand? Definitely. So by doing that, what you obtain is just a complete new flavour of everything being joined as one. Your fusion, my fam. Fusion.
Like the tender lamb you gave me.
You know what I'm saying there?
Delicious. Minimal bones in that.
This is what I'm saying. I thought of you. I thought of you when I was putting that package together, my bro. You know what I'm saying? Listen, that's gonna be you. That is you.
I love my food.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. It's all love. It's all love.
This week after one of the days of the gym, I'm gonna come get a plate. You said
Wednesday to Sunday is my normal open hours. Yeah. Okay. So
do you pre-order?
I do. I take pre-orders. I've got people kind of shouting me from the beginning of the week.
Pre-ordering, or do you put it on the day?
It helps me out because I know what I've got to do. I know what needs to be done.
Portions of pre-order. I'm gonna need a plate of food. Do you want me to pre-order that really, or how do you tell me? Tell the people.
Well, long story short, if you shout me on the day, I can tell you what's available on the day, and we go from there.
When fried chicken available?
I try to have fried chicken available every time I cook now because it's very popular.
It is the most popular.
Yeah, it's fried chicken. It's fried chicken. People love finger food as well, especially when the sun comes out. We haven't had too much sun recently, but that food is almost it's soul food. You feel it in the. You know what I'm saying? It's flavors coming together. So
you didn't think Roof Festival?
I got asked to do stuff for the last one. I might try to do things for the one that's coming up.
Do you not advise you?
But I need to make investments towards it.
Wherever they're going to give you... Sorry?
I need to make investments towards it, i.e., for example, I think it's the best part of £1,000 for a pitch.
Right, scratch this first.
Then also...
This word don't matter no more.
Forget
this. Like we already told you, you're established.
Yeah.
Walk around with a flipping... a bag that don't lose heat, insulated bag, and sell... I've got £3 pots, bro. £5 pots. All the same meals. I'm looking to make £500 today.
The last River Festival, I had so many orders on the day from my own clients. By the time I went down to the River Festival, I didn't have no food left. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So, and that was only, I couldn't even go there for the Saturday and Sunday. I was busy working on the Saturday. Yeah. I had orders for the Sunday. By the time I got down there, I think I spent the best part of maybe the last hour of being there. Man. Yeah, definitely. But this is what I never got around to saying. Like, the one thing that sort of restricted me to a certain extent is that I helped look after Mumsy as well because she's got certain issues and whatnot. Okay. So, my flexibility, I'm not just like that sort of guy who has freedom on his time to have freedom now with no other responsibilities. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And
I appreciate you coming today, man.
That's nothing. That is nothing whatsoever. When the time is right, I will expand because a lot of people say, "When's this happening? When's that happening?" When the time is right, it will be happening. But one thing I'd like to feel that I've expressed about myself today is that when it comes to my morals, when it comes to my family, my loved ones, they come first. And I know for a fact that my mum benefits from having me around, helping her out, and that is kind of like, for me, like you said, with the overheads and things like that, it's kind of I'm trying to be sensible from a business perspective, but making sure I could be supportive towards my mum from a family's perspective as well. Yeah. That is very important for me. So trying to kind of like conflate the two and balance it. You hear what I'm saying? That is where I'm at right now. I'm making the very most I have from the circumstances.
I would say a few things though.
Go on.
Certain sacrifices, Dezzy,
have to be made. I
advise you to make.
Yeah, of course.
Not for you.
Yeah.
It's for everyone.
Yeah.
It will benefit everyone.
Yeah.
At the time, people might not be able to see it.
Yeah.
It will benefit everyone.
Of course.
You know what you want to do from it.
Yeah. Of course.
Don't sacrifice anything, but certain things, risk reward.
Yeah.
Like you already know.
Yeah.
Got the business up and running.
Yes,
definitely, man.
Yes, definitely.
That's fucking dope.
Most definitely, my bro.
Love, man. I appreciate it.
Enough love. Always. Yeah. Let's do it. Yeah, man. Enough love.
Lit, baby.
Yeah, man. Litty committee, fam.